On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC News,
where the news never stops. This is LBC News.
From Global's newsroom, it's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 7th of April. Good morning. I'm Vanessa Baffoe and welcome to a new sound for LBC News Breakfast. Here's what you need to know this morning. Nearly 1,000 people a week in England have faced potentially severe harm due to delays in ambulance handovers.
What we're seeing now is like an increase in car park care, where staff are having to care for patients and watch them deteriorate.
I have more on that on this morning's LBC News exclusive. Also, we'll have the latest on the fallout from Trump's US tariffs. Keir Starmer will set out reforms to boost car manufacturing in the UK. Plus, are you thinking of buying tickets for your favourite singers? Well, we'll be hearing how ticket scammers are on the rise. And let's check out this morning's sport too with Simon Williams.
Yeah, morning, Vanessa. One of the Premier League relegation spots has been filled and the leaders lose for just the second time this season. I'll have all the details and the rest of this morning's sport in around 15 minutes.
LBC News. Weather.
Noticeably colder this morning, with any frost will quickly lift, and we should enjoy plenty of strong sunshine from blue skies. 16 degrees this afternoon, should feel pleasantly warm. I'm back in 15 minutes.
From Global's newsroom, it is 10 o'clock. I'm Steve Holden. Good morning. Stock markets in Europe have plunged in early trading. That follows further steep falls across Asia. Donald Trump insisting he will not back down on his trade tariffs, describing them as medicine needed to fix the economy. Car manufacturers are being given greater flexibility over their electric vehicle targets. A ban on the sale of new petrol and diesel cars is going to come into force in 2030, but plug-in hybrids will still be allowed until 2035. An LBC News exclusive this morning. Paramedics have spent the equivalent of 137 years waiting outside England's hospitals in the last 8 months. Figures seen by us show the 15-minute target for handing over patients has been missed 2 million times over that period. And coming up, if you live in London, is this much needed or is it a waste of money? Our reporter is going to be live at East London's new Thames crossing. It is called the Silverlink Tunnel. It's open to traffic.
LBC News.
From Global's newsroom, it's 1 o'clock. I'm Jim Diamond. Good afternoon. Ministers have promised bold changes to support the British car industry after it was hit by US tariffs. A ban on new petrol and diesel vehicles will come in from 2030, but the rules around electric car quotas will be relaxed. Transport Secretary Heidi Alexander says ministers are moving with renewed urgency.
We're providing certainty by sticking to the 2030 date and the headline targets, but we are giving car manufacturers greater flexibility about how they meet that target.
A police officer who was driving a van following 2 teenagers who died in an e-bike crash will face no charges. Prosecutors say there's not enough evidence to secure a conviction over the deaths of Harvey Evans and Kyrie Sullivan in Cardiff nearly 2 years ago. Also today, the government says it's working to address delays at A&E. Figures show ambulances have spent a total of 137 years waiting outside hospitals in England since Labour came to power. And coming up,
3 friends of mine who were scammed last year, losing 40, 60 and £165,000, and they are in their 30s, working tech and founders of businesses.
How an AI-powered scam detection tool can stop you from being caught out.
LBC News. Weather.
More bright sunshine and blue skies for London today and feeling warm with highs of 15 degrees. I'm Alice Young with a full forecast coming up in 15 minutes.
LBC News. Travel.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Stratford. Here are your headlines. It's been a volatile day on stock markets in the US in the wake of Donald Trump's tariffs announcement last week. Some of the indices dropped 6% earlier today. There have been falls on stock markets in the UK as well. Keir Starmer has announced that he is going to back British car manufacturers to the hilt. He's announced reforms to electric vehicle targets.
This is the moment when we back British business and charge up the electric revolution.
Donald Trump is due to meet the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu a little later. We'll bring you the latest here on LBC News. Elsewhere, a plastic surgeon has been found guilty of trying to kill a fellow doctor who he wanted out of the way. And Ivan Juric has left his job as manager of Southampton after the club was relegated from the Premier League yesterday. with 7 games still to play.
LBC News. Weather.
After a chilly night, lots more sunshine's on the way this week and things will turn warmer again from Friday. I'm Tom Crosdale. I've got a full forecast in the next 15 minutes.
LBC News. Travel.
LBC Travel, I'm Dave Goff. There are queues on the M11 northbound. It's partly blocked because of an accident between junction 5 for Loughton and junction 6 for the M25. On the M25 anti-clockwise, there's a lane closed before junction 23 for the A1M. A car's broken down. It's slow on the M1 northbound after a car broke down earlier after junction 9 for Redbourne. There are delays in Highbury Grove southbound is closed after Highbury New Park. That's because of an accident. There are queues in Edmonton on the North Circular westbound. The exit slip road at the A10 Great Cambridge junction is partly blocked. That's because a car has broken down. On the tube, there's no service on the district line between Turnham Green and Richmond. It's because of a points failure, so that also means that on London Overground there's no service on the Miles Main line between Richmond and Acton Central.
From Global's newsroom, it's 7 o'clock. I'm James Hanson. Good evening. It's been a black Monday for the markets as stock prices plummet around the world. On Wall Street, the markets dropped sharply on opening. In London, the FTSE 100 fell to its lowest level in a year. Donald Trump says his trade policy isn't to blame. Instead, he's pointing the finger at China and threatening further tariffs. The president was due to hold a press conference in the next hour. We've just heard that's now been cancelled. Thousands of tons of rubbish are continuing to pile up on the streets of Birmingham. Today's talks to end the city's bin strike have ended again without agreement. We'll hear from one bin worker who says he's prepared to strike for up to a year. The King and Queen have touched down in Rome at the beginning of a 4-day state visit to Italy. The trip comes just a week and a half after Buckingham Palace confirmed the King had been taken to hospital following side effects related to his ongoing cancer treatment. And coming up, we'll hear from the West End star who won an Olivier Award last night for playing an iceberg.
From Global's newsroom, it's 10 o'clock. I'm Charlotte Lynch. Good evening. Here's the latest. Donald Trump says the US won't pause tariffs despite stock markets around the world tumbling. The president says many countries have been negotiating with Washington and they'll try and make fair deals with each of them.
We sold no cars, like 0 cars in Japan, and they sold millions of cars into our country.
The US president has also said Washington will hold direct talks with Iran this weekend. He suggested a deal could be done over its nuclear program as tensions continue in the Middle East. As bin strikes in Birmingham enter a 4th week, talks between the City Council and Unite Union have ended without a deal. Workers walked out last month in a row over jobs and pay, leading to rubbish piling up in the streets. And coming up...
It's exciting. It's also scary in the sense of I actually have to run 26 miles on my birthday.
Yeah, we'll meet the youngest runner taking on this year's London Marathon.
LBC News.